up, America? What up, world? What up, everybody? It's your boy, Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. Today is September the 11th, and it marks 18 years um, ter- after the terrorist attacks had taken place on that fateful day, which cost the lives of almost just about 3,000 people. I will say this, I was only a freshman in high school when this event happened. And, the assistant principal at the time uh, basically basically stated that basically had stated about it on the video intercom at the school. And what happened was is that many of we were like every class I was in, they were showing like nonstop coverage of of the two of the twin towers that fell on that particular day. And right after that, they also showed how one of the sides of the Pentagon slammed, were slammed in, and a plane obviously went down a field in Pennsylvania. Um, Now, I will say this. Um, it seems that a lot of people have forgot, pretty much made this statement where they just literally forgotten about the whole day, the day of 9/11, 2001. They want to put it aside and say that you got people out there who say crap like 9/11 was an inside job. And for them saying that, it's a big middle finger to those who died on that fateful day. You know, 3,000 people lost their lives on that fateful day. These were people who were known and loving family members. You know, who and let's just let's just say this: we live sadly we live in a time where political correctness, is trying to take over, and they like to make the claim that we should forget all about 9/11 altogether. Well, that's not happening to me. I will never forget that fateful day, especially when I looked at the news coverage of it and was in shock. And I was only 14 years old, a freshman in high school, um, looking at all the events, looking at the nonstop news coverage. Even when I got home on that day, considering there was no extracurricular activities that were going on during that time. And the thing is that you got people like Ilhan Omar, who's in Congress now, who would say crap like, um, something happened on that day. You know, and she was literally giving us, the American people, a big middle finger. America, we we should never forget. We should never forget that day when 9/11 happened. You know, it was a time that we came together as a country, and you know, it was also a time where we had to unite ourselves, and we had to pray for one another, especially those who lost their loved ones on that tragic day. 9/11 should 9/11 should be a day where we should not forget. Never forget 9/11. If you forget, if you if you're those type of individuals that say 9/11 was an inside job, if you are those types of individuals that would say things like, you know, like those food, those that coat called the Westboro Baptist Church, who would say crap, who would held, who would hold signs saying crap like "Thank God for 9/11." You are one cold-hearted individual, and being cold-hearted against this is not what you should be. It's time to every year we should remind ourselves that you know we have we have to remind ourselves that 9/11 is a day that we should not forget, and also we have to remind ourselves that we pray that nothing like this will happen again. It's tragic, but we also have to keep this in our memory. If we let the if we let the politically correct crowd tell us how to think, and tell us how that this day should not this day should no lo- that September the 11th should no longer be a day to remember, we're literally going to lose. This is a day that we have to that we, the American people, was should stand strong. You know, should fight the good fight. And lastly, this is a day that we have to, you know, constantly keep us, our leaders, and our family, in our, and our families, and the world. We have to keep them all in our prayers. I'm Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. I'm signing off. Be good to each other.